Good. Well, step one, let's have your son hear the housing provider tip of the week in case he's chiming in and listening here.
All right. So step one for all you real estate investors, it's that time of year where we start having these storms and power goes out, and tenants are moving out a lot more this time of year. And I think the one thing that I see every single year, we actually get a lot of business because other property managers drop the ball on this, or something doesn't get coordinated, or self-managing landlords give up after this point. But when a tenant moves out or a storm comes through and that power goes off, there goes your sump pump. There goes any sort of emergency alert type system for your sump pump. So if you have a tenant moving out, make sure that you are putting your ComEd moving it over. Don't wait. It's not a thing to wait on. So make sure you're doing that. If you have a storm, make sure that it's tough to invest battery backups into some investment properties, but sometimes it just might make sense, especially if you have a finished basement. So it's a small investment to prevent a much larger problem. The one other thing I'll say to that is ComEd has a landlord portal. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but you could go on ComEd as a landlord, put all your information in. If anyone wants this, or we can put this in the show notes, I have all the instructions how to do this, but you can put it where if the power goes out, say the tenant moves out early, or the tenant takes out their name early and it gets pulled out, the service will revert back to you as the landlord's name versus going off for any sort of dormant period. So it's every property should have, you should be signed up for that just in case. Obviously that doesn't help in a power outage situation, but for that tenant that moves out or that tenant doesn't pay, some of us have tenants right now that haven't paid or are going through these different issues with them. And, there's a good chance they could have their power shut off. And if they get their power shut off and the basement floods, actually, that might be a good way to get them out, but that's maybe not appropriate to talk about here.
Good stuff.